Good morning, guys and girls. How's it going? It's me, Scree, here again, having more breakfast. So today, for breakfast, I'm having flatbread. Yay! Okay, so another flatbread day, for breakfast. But I've got something a bit different for putting on it. Last night, I made a hummus sort of style butter. So, just here you can see the chickpeas. So what I did is I boiled the chickpeas up and just mashed them up with a fork. I got them quite soft, and then put some vegetable oil in there, just to get it a bit smoother, basically. So it's made almost like a chickpea butter. So something a bit different, really. So hopefully it tastes alright from what I've tasted so far. It's a bit nutty. It's got a sort of nutty chickpea taste. And also, I've got to apologise for the videos, the slight crackling and scrunching, because I am using my phone. Every time I hold it, sometimes bits of cloth and stuff touch it. So I do apologise about that profusely. Yeah, very sorry about that. Audio is a bit tricky. And also lighting, apparently. So, might pop you down just here. You can probably hear some crackling and scrunching as I put you down. There you go, you've got some lovely light there as well. You can see the light box above me. So let's just keep cooking this flatbread, get it nice and cooked. Warm my hands up as well, because I'm bloody freezing this morning. Now, if you're from America or England or anywhere like that, you'll laugh at us. But, it's 9 degrees at the moment this morning, and I'm frozen solid. I've become accustomed to the Australian summers, and I'm not used to cold weather anymore. I don't deal with it very well. It's a bit too cold. So just getting a plate out. Sorry. Okay, this is coming along nicely. Nice little smoke coming up. Flatbread is almost done. So this is the last of my batch that I made up the other night. So this is 3 days it's lasted me, pretty much. 2-3 days, which is not bad. It means I've just not had to make any for those days. So I'm going to make another batch tonight, obviously. There we go. Beautiful bit of flatbread there. Actually, I might just go a little bit more on the bottom. A little bit gooey on one side, so I'm just going to get that done. It's just a little bit folded over, unfortunately, when I was putting it in. I couldn't get it detached, basically. It has become a little bit sticky. That's the only thing I will say about it. On the third day, last night as well, it was just getting a little bit sticky, and that's just because the oil seeped out and seeped into the grease paper. So it did become a little bit sticky, but it was still perfectly fine and yummy and stuff like that. It just meant it was a little bit sticky to the touch, that's all. Okay, that's better. Alright, that is off. Okay, so where do I put that knife? Okay, so we have a beautiful bit of flatbread here. Now, let's get a nice bit of this hummus butter, or chickpea butter we'll call it. I don't really know what to call it. Oily chickpea, maybe. That's pretty much all it is. I'd say if you put it through a mixer or something like that, you'll get a better consistency, because it's just a little bit bitty at the moment. Not bitty, but it's just not completely smooth. Alright, so it's not going to be the greatest colouring, but there we go. Sort of a nice yellowish colour on there, and I'll be back to give it a try. Okay, and I'm back. So, I've fiddled with some settings, so hopefully this is slightly less zoomed in. So we have the beautiful flatbread with the fantastic hummus style butter. Let's give it a try. Good. Actually, that's really good. Surprisingly good, actually. That's delicious. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. Oh God, honestly, I'm shocked. I'm actually shocked about how good that is. So simple. Look, that is an amazing breakfast item because it's just like it's almost like a peanut butter. The taste is nutty. Let's try a bit on this, eh? Yeah, it's got that slightly nutty taste to it. It's almost like a very weak peanut butter. It's not as strong as peanut butter. The oil as well gives it a slightly oily aftertaste, but it's not bad. It's just that flavour in there, and it's really good. I'm actually shocked by that, and I'm surprised how good it is. So yeah, if you're doing the challenge, if you're watching this before you do the challenge and you're going to do it in the future. Sorry about my hand talking, by the way. I realised this when I was watching one of my videos recently. I talk with my hands a lot. And I don't know why. I'm trying to keep it down, but it's very hard because I do like to talk with my hands a bit. It's just that expressive nature, I suppose. But yeah, if you're doing the ration challenge, simply just soak the chickpeas for about 24 hours, boil them for about, I don't know, about 40 minutes or so, so they're nice and soft, and then mush them up with a fork or in a food blender or something like that. The reason I didn't use a blender or anything like that is because I didn't want to waste any. I wanted to make sure I had everything I could in there, so I used a fork to crush them up. But that's enough. It's crushed it up really well, and it's just a sort of like fine paste, basically. It's almost like a paste rather than a spread. But no, it's really delicious. It's actually really good, and it really brings out the flavours, and especially on the flatbread, it just works really well. So, look, for a breakfast item, that's bloody mega. So yeah, I'm really, really happy about this one. I'm going to have this again for sure in the week. And actually, this is something I will make in the future as well, I reckon. Look, I'm going to tweak it, obviously. I'm going to add not some sugar, some salt, a little bit of pepper, I think, when actually, you probably could add some sugar. Make it slightly sweeter. That would possibly work because it has got that slight that slight nutty taste, but it's a slightly sweeter taste. It could work sweetened. So again, that's something else to try. There's things you can add to it as well to give it a little bit more flavour. But as it is, it's not too bad. For this week, it's not bad. I mean, as I said, if I was normally doing this, I would add some salt to it just to bring out the flavour a bit more. But it's perfectly okay as it is. It's not something that's horrible as it is, for sure. Alright guys, well, I will see you when I next eat. Bye-bye. Hello again, it's me again. So I'm going to make some flatbread. It's about 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock almost. And I just wanted to get some flatbread made. I'm getting a little bit peckish as well. I think I didn't quite have enough for breakfast today. I usually I've had about 2 pieces of flatbread before, and today I had 1, so I'm just getting a bit peckish now. So I'm going to do a little video on me making the flatbread, just so you can sort of see how it's done. So, again, something that can help you out, hopefully. So I'm going to do about a cup of flour. So 1 cup of flour. I'll pop it into a little bowl, like so. A little bit lower. Yeah, about right. So I pop that in the bowl to mix it, and I'm going to use a little bit of hot water, just because it's quite cold today, and I do not want to be kneading dough with cold hands. So a bit of boiling water in there. You probably want to use lukewarm water in all honesty. You just want to get it so it's actually like just a dough consistency. You don't want to make it too sort of too wet, basically. Pop some cooler water in there as well, just so I don't burn myself. And swish it around a little bit. It's still a little bit dry at the moment. A little bit more. It's probably about a quarter of a cup I've used. But generally go for your eye. You want to get it to... sorry, a bit terrible view here. Around about this sort of consistency, maybe a little bit wetter. You'll sort of know when it's right though, you'll sort of see it's that right consistency. I'm also going to add a bit of vegetable oil to the mix as well. So I'm going to add the cap. So I'm adding a cap full of vegetable oil to it. So that's an easy measurement, you'll have that one with you. So just a tiny bit more, as I said, it's a little bit dry still. And actually, I'm going to put gloves on. I'm going to be smart today and put gloves on. Because that's one of the things when you're kneading dough, is you will get dough all over your fingers. And I need to be able to touch my phone at some stage, so I don't want to get dough all over my phone, so I'm going to use gloves today. Okay, let's feel how that consistency is. Okay, that's right there, that's perfect. Okay, I'm just going to mix it up a little bit in the actual bowl. Now, of course, if you do add a bit too much water to it, it's not a problem, because all you have to do is just grab your flour and add a bit more flour to the mixture. And that will even out the liquid content and the flour content and give you a nice mixture. Okay, I'd love to be able to show you what I'm doing here. I could actually do that with this hand. It's a bit tricky though. Okay, so we're just going to mix it around. I'm just using the fingertips just to scrape off the other bits from the side, and that will just get everything together. So as you can see here, we've got the dough ball. It's relatively good consistency. Now, I'm going to pop you back down. Sorry, this is the trouble doing it one-handed. My lovely camera girl is not here today. She's at work currently. So I'll continue doing. I'll continue kneading the dough. Okay, and we are back. So hopefully remember to edit this one properly. I just remembered last night I was meant to do an edit of the cooking sequence of something that I was frying, and I completely forgot to do it. I wasn't feeling that good last night, and I'm going to add a bit more flour. It's a little bit gunky still, so I want to get a little bit better consistency from it. I don't want it too sticky, basically. That's the main problem you can have, is it can be a bit sticky, this dough. So if you add a bit more flour to it, you get that nice consistency where it's not going to get stuck to your fingers as much. And you can actually work it a little bit easier. And it doesn't get stuck to the counters and everything like that. And that's the useful thing with the oil and oil in there as well. It does help it become a little bit less sticky. The good thing with that is, with the oil actually in the bread, is you can just dry fry it in a normal, in most pans actually. Even a metal pan, you should be able to just be a bit careful. Maybe add a little bit of oil to it. It just depends how much oil is actually going to come out of the bread. But it does give you that option of using a little bit less oil overall. Of course, if you've got oil in the pan already, that's fine. You just want to keep a little bit of oil in the pan, and that will pretty much mean it does not stick ever. It's probably good to not clean your pan overnight. Get it somewhere where it's not going to get, things going in there. Of course, you don't want to have insects and stuff in there, but you just want to, with the oil already in there, it gives it a bit of flavour next time as well, because the oil contains flavour. Don't overdo it, so don't go for a week without cleaning it, but you sort of get an idea. Again, you sort of know when it's a bit dirty, so after a couple of uses, then give it a clean. But as I said, you don't need to do it every single time, because it's just just a waste of oil, really. Of course, if you are frying like meats in there or anything like that, then it's worth changing the oil, just because that can be a bit gross, because you get all the fats and stuff coming out of the meats. So yeah. Okay, our dough is pretty much done. As I said, using a plastic mixing bowl is quite good as well, because it just gives you that sort of, it's a little bit easier to get it done, really. Alright, so I can remove my gloves now, because the main sticky bit is done. Okay. Now next up, I'm going to roll it out and get it all done. So I've got my cutting board here. I'm just going to add a little bit of flour to that, just so it doesn't stick. And just swirl it around, just get a nice even cover of the flour, just so it's basically just light covering. And also it's good to dust your hands as well, because again that means you get less stuff sticking to you. Okay, now we'll get our dough out. Now of course, because there's no live cultures in this, you don't need to over knead it. You will need to knead it a little bit, but just a little bit more flour in there. So now I can actually feel it properly. I can feel it's a little bit sticky still. You want to basically break up the flour a little bit. So you knead it a little bit, but you know, you don't need to over knead it. You know, like a normal piece of bread. Because again, it's not going to activate. It's not going to get any bigger than this. This dough is about as big as it's going to get. It's not going to puff up basically. But if you roll it a little bit and knead it a little bit, it does just break down the trying to think of the word, I can't think of it. Basically just breaks down the makeup of it, just makes it a little bit softer. It's a little bit nicer to eat, basically, a little bit less rubbery. And it's kind of useful when you're eating just water and flour, when it's not as rubbery and doesn't taste just as much like water and flour. Alright, so got a ball of dough here, as you can see. Get out a bread knife. And we'll cut this in half, like so. So I've got 2 balls of dough now. As I say, you can pop one in the fridge, just roll it up in cling film and it will keep nicely. It's a good little way of doing it. Okay. Sorry about the banging here. I'm going to get a little bit of banging, so I'm going to need to flatten it out a little bit. This is where you find your board's a little bit sticky still. So again, we just need a bit more flour on there just to keep it from sticking too much. Try not to use too much flour for the baking process in this regard, because you don't want to overuse your flour, because again, you only have so much of it. Realistically, it should be enough to make a few meals of bread and stuff like that. But again, you don't want to overdo it. Alrighty, so we've got our dough there. Now, what we're going to do is get some non-stick paper. So just some baking paper. This stuff is amazingly useful. I'm going to get my trusty rolling pin. And I might, let's see how we are. Not too bad, not too sticky. That's good. Now you can do it between 2 sheets of baking paper as well, and that's going to make sure it doesn't stick at all, and that's a really good option. Yeah, getting a little bit sticky there. But see how that goes. But you want to roll it out. Just keep a hold of your dough, because it does move along the paper a bit when you're rolling. Okay, that's probably thin enough there. We've got a nice, decent sized bit of flatbread. Trying to figure out a spot to put my rolling pin. Okay, so hopefully, as you can see there, we've got a nice big bit of flatbread. So we can now cut this into some portions. Depends on how hungry you are, really. I'm just going to get a nice little piece like this. And also I'm going to get a secondary piece, I think, because I'm fairly peckish this afternoon. It's the first time I've been peckish for lunchtime. But I was up a lot earlier this morning as well, so that does make a big difference there. Okay. And then it's just as simple as popping it in the pan and frying it. The bloody cooker goes on. Okay, so next up we'll warm up the pan and just fry it, and then we'll have a lovely flatbread. So I hope you've enjoyed this little video. I'm not going to go through the whole cooking process because I've already shown that. And I'm just going to have some more of that sort of hummus type spread for afternoon lunch. So I will catch you all at dinner time. Bye bye. Hello again, it's me, Scree, and I've got the camera person of Stephen Sticks back. She's doing a fantastic job. Well, she was until she shaked the camera. Ah, ruined it all again. Okay, so tonight I'm going to be having...
I wasn't.
We will delete all your files. So tonight I'm actually going to be doing fritters. So I'm going to be doing red kidney beans and lentil fritters. So I'm going to give them a try. So I've just put about half a cup to a cup, sorry, no, 3/4 to a full cup of flour in the bowl, and then some moisture just to get everything together, to make another dough really. So just get it all nice and sticky, and probably want it a little bit wetter than that. Just a tiny bit. There we go. So again, just want to get just that little bit wet, and just mash it all together. Get it all nice and sort of put in together. Again, I'm using my gloves again because I don't want to get stuff all stuck over my fingers. So try and get some of that off as well. So again, same as the bread dough really, just mixing it in a bowl, but this time I'm mixing it with stuff. Usually I would actually chop up things a bit tighter for this kind of thing, but I'm just going to have a bit of a chunky fritter kind of thing. And we'll see how it goes with that, and hopefully it comes out all right. This is a bit of an experimental one really. I'm expecting I'm actually just going to get like bread with bits in it for this. Just because it's a little bit thick to be a true fritter. Just because I don't really have enough, there's not enough beans and stuff to make it really, really true fritter style, you know, because it's just, you just have such little resources. So let's chuck that in there.
It's like a patty.
Yeah, basically. Like a, sort of like a patty. Usually I would put a bit more, have a bit more substance in the way of the vegetables and stuff in the fritter, but like, I really don't have enough to actually manage that. I could possibly have used rice, I guess. Forgot about that, but I'm just having rice on the side, so I didn't really want to make too much with rice. So we'll chuck that in. Get some of that off our fingers. And that should start cooking, hopefully. So again, I'm probably going to go to a fast forward with this one, and I'm actually going to remember to fast forward it this time.
One eternity later.
Okay, and we are back. So they're pretty much done. So they're looking okay. They're a bit like cake-like, in all honesty. They're not too furry. As I said, it's a bit hard with the lack of bits. I think maybe if I'd used some rice in there, it might have bulked it up a little bit, so I could use a little bit less flour. They're almost a bit cake-like at the moment.
Got to get all you can.
Yeah, I'm gonna get all the kidney beans.
No scraps.
No. Okay, so that's all the kidney beans. So there are the fritters on the plate. So they're looking okay. And with that, of course, I'm going to have some rice. Surprise, surprise. So this is some rice I did a bit earlier. Let's get to the bottom, get it a bit warmed up. This looks nice and dry. We won't need as much rice as I had last night. So there we go. The kidney bean and lentil fritter with some rice. Hopefully that's decent. And I will be back very shortly. And I am back. Hello again. And we are back with our meal. So I got the try to drop it everywhere. Fritters, sort of frittery things with the rice. So let's get into one of these. Now I would desperately love some tomato sauce with this. It looks like it's going to be quite dry. So you can see, get it in the right bit of camera. See there, it's got a nice sort of texture in it. Let's have a bite. Yeah, it's not bad at all. Yeah, actually that's pretty decent. Kidney beans are good. The lentils give it a little bit of flavour. It's actually not as dry as I expected because the amount of flour, the amount of water I used in the flour, just the amount of flour I've used as well, has actually given it quite a lot of moisture inside. It's quite soft. So it's almost like a cake-like consistency inside. So it's actually quite tasty. Yeah, would really love tomato sauce with this though. Again, this is something that I would make. I would actually happily make these. If I was making them myself, I would use a bit more beans just to get a little bit more bean in it, and probably slice the beans up a bit as well, just so it mashes up a little bit better to make the fritter. But honestly, as it is, it's quite nice. It would be really nice with tomato sauce though. Okay guys, well I'm going to enjoy my dinner and I will catch you again later. Bye bye. Okay, so it's come to the end of the day. It's almost 9 o'clock now, so I'm going to start editing the video and get it up for the day. I'm not feeling too bad and all, sort of, not hunger-wise anyway, or really not that fatigued either. Not feeling sluggish, so to say. I'm feeling, well fed, which is nice. So yeah, it's been an okay day. I was really surprised about the fritter type thing that I made. It was really delicious. Yeah, it was bloody lovely. I've got some more left in the fridge for it. I've got some remainder for it, so I can have that at a later date, which is nice. Might have that tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon or something, see how it goes. But yeah, it was absolutely delicious. Like I said, I'm actually going to probably make some of those in future. Yeah, I might even make them again, add more spices and stuff like that, but they turned out really, really well. So yeah, that's quite good news. They'd also work as a sort of fake burger patty as well, so yeah, kind of cool. Anyway, enough bragging about cooking success. I'm going to get to video editing. I will catch you all later. Have a good night. Bye bye. Just going to be like, in this video we have a Canadian in the background.
Yeah.
We do apologise for the Canadian interruptions.
When all else fails, there's a Canadian.